Your head is spinning, you're waiting for them to text, checking your phone, feeling like you're stuck and can't move on. And all you want to know is how long before they regret it. When will they start to miss me? But here's the problem. Most people get timelines completely wrong. On one side, you'll hear the regret timeline is an exact countdown. Just do no contact for this many days and your avoidant ex will definitely come back. Now, on the other hand, you'll hear people say it's impossible to know what your ex is thinking or feeling, so you shouldn't even try. But both of those are myths. And the truth is here in the middle. We don't have an exact countdown to the day, but we do have solid research on the emotional stages that avoidants go through after a breakup. And we have thousands of real-world cases to draw from. And that's more than enough to create a timeline that most avoidants follow and give you the answers you need. So as you're watching this, I want you to think of this timeline like a changing of the seasons. We know every year winter comes after autumn, but not the exact day first snow will fall. And what I really mean by that is if you want to know what your ex is feeling and what they will do next, then the real key is to watch their behavior, not the calendar. Now that's why in this video, I'm going to map out the regret timeline and the exact stages they go through. I'll show you what behaviors you'll actually see, as well as what triggers them in each stage. And I'll give you the exact do's and don'ts for each one so you can make confident choices based on where they are right now. So let's dive in right away with stage 1, relief. Roughly between week 1 and week 4, here's what you can expect to see from an avoidant. In those first few weeks, your avoidant ex appears surprisingly confident. They ghost you, they act cold like you never mattered, they ignore your text. Basically, it's going to feel like they flipped a switch and completely shut off their emotions. You'll notice them posting upbeat, busy content on social media. They might mute you, block you, then mysteriously unblock you within days. Your calls might go to voicemail, and if you do talk to them, they'll say they just need some space. They aren't ready for a relationship right now, or that everything is okay, they've just got too much going on and they need to be alone. Now, when researchers studied avoidant behavior, they found this behavior of shutting down and pulling away allows avoidants to just let go of any anxiety and begin to relax. Now, if you're unfamiliar with why your ex feels anxious in relationships, then watch this video linked above where I cover that and the tests they use before they come back to you. But for now, just know that any kind of novelty or distractions they use to avoid you allows them to feel immediate relief from the pressure of a relationship. So here's the secret to handling stage 1. Any effort to pull them back into the relationship will cause them to shut down even more. Think of it like chasing your shadow. You can run towards it, but it will always move away. If you keep still, it will stay next to you, and if you walk away, it will follow you. Now, here's what you should do at this point. Maintain no contact. Give them space. Decide what you really want in a relationship, and if this person is worth it. Hold your boundaries firmly and take care of yourself. Sleep, eat, get exercise, spend time doing the things you love. Do not chase them. Do not send long messages trying to get closure. Do not beg or try to convince them to come back. I know you might feel out of control right now, but when you focus on your actions, not on their reactions, you'll naturally start to feel calmer and more like yourself again. At this point, in stage 1, they feel that relief. But in stage 2, you'll notice something is starting to change. It looks like moving on, it feels like forgetting, but it's neither. Most often, between the first and third month, avoidants move into stage 2, distraction and numbing. And from the outside, this can look like they've moved on without a thought. They build new routines, spend more time out with friends, or jump onto dating apps. Sometimes they even dive into a rebound relationship that looks easy, fun, and uncomplicated. And that's what makes this phase so unbearable. It's devastating to see them move on like it's nothing, but they have not just moved on. In fact, this is one of the biggest myths out there. People assume that if your ex is out partying, posting selfies, or already dating again, it must mean they don't care. And of course, it looks that way. On the surface, the rebounds, the hobbies, the smiling photos all feel like proof they've moved on. But here's the truth. That's not moving on. It's coping. They are coping through distractions because distractions numb their feelings. This is the concept that connects all the dots, so it makes sense to go a little deeper here. Avoidant people often look fine after a breakup because they distract themselves. And that distraction is a way to suppress their feelings. Feelings like sadness, anger, longing, and vulnerability are all suppressed, which means they are automatically pushed out of their conscious awareness. Now, the reason they automatically suppress those feelings is this. When they showed those feelings as a child, they were punished, ignored, or rejected. And what most people fail to understand is that at an early age, the suppression becomes automatic and habitual. And the truth underneath is that it's much more like a reflex than a deliberate choice. Now, it doesn't excuse the pain they cause, but obviously you can begin to realize why they do it and let go of the idea that it's all about hurting you. Now, here's the contradiction that makes their behavior so confusing. While they're out there distracting themselves, even though their feelings are being suppressed, they still feel this pull towards you and this connection that you share, which means at some point during any of these stages, they are going to reach back out to you. They might unblock you. You might see late night views on your stories, random likes on old photos, or vague texts like, "Hope you're well." They may even send a casual check-in on a Sunday night, and if you answer right away, they vanish again. But if you stay quiet, they will circle back later. Now, something important is happening here, so let's stay with this for a moment. Getting close in a relationship triggers feelings of danger for them, but they do want to give and feel love. Now, what that means to you is they are only going to reach out in ways that feel safe and then pull away again when the connection between you feels strongest. And as a result, in these early stages, reaching out is not about reconnecting with you, because that still feels dangerous to them. It's about the longing to feel this emotional closeness and safety that we all want to feel. And what that ultimately means is when they do reach out to you, it's going to feel like breadcrumbing or mixed signals. So here's what I want you to do. Expect numbing. rebounds, and distractions, but know what they really are. Keep no contact steady and focus your energy on your own routines, whatever comforts you the most. Do not reply instantly to breadcrumb text. Do not pour your heart out when they message you. Do not assume their happy post means they've healed and moved on. And do not break the silence just to check in. Because when the distractions fade and you stayed in no contact, the real regret begins. But just know it won't look the way you expect it to look. Now, the moment you start to feel like maybe you were never enough, that your ex has really moved on for good, that's when they shock you. This is stage 3, where the distractions fade and second thoughts begin. Stage 3 is going to be just enough to pull you back in. And then suddenly you're spinning out of control once more, wondering what it all means. Most often, you'll see this happens between the 3rd and 6th month after your breakup. This is when suppressed emotions start to break free to the surface and the first signs of regret start to form. Here's what happens. The rebound starts to feel hollow. The parties lose their spark. The new routines become repetitive, and suddenly all those distractions that were keeping them numb start to lose their power. Or sometimes it's memories that start breaking through. Random moments will hit them out of nowhere. A song you both loved, a place you used to go together, even just the way someone laughs reminds them of you. These aren't just passing thoughts. These are emotional flashbacks that break through their defenses. Now, it might be that the distractions stop working. It might be that the memories keep breaking through, or it could be both happening at once. But whatever the trigger is, their emotional suppression becomes less and less effective. The fact is, suppression is temporary, energy draining, and it doesn't stop the underlying need we all have to feel comfort, love, and emotionally secure together. And because suppressing emotions is so difficult, the triggers will reactivate those needs and force buried feelings back up to the surface until they're acknowledged or worked through. Now, here's what you're going to notice. They start liking your post again. They text you out of nowhere. They bring up old memories. They check in with small talk, maybe even an accidental phone call that doesn't feel so accidental. They might even seem sad or look a little lonely, as if they don't seem as confident as before. But this isn't regret, and this isn't them wanting to get back together yet. Now, we're getting close to something important here, so let me break this down carefully for you. The feeling of regret has not fully formed yet at this stage, but their suppressed emotions are struggling to break through the surface, which means they're starting to feel a sense, just a sense of loneliness, unresolved sadness, and the first signs of regret. And as a result of that, they're going to reach out to you, because reaching out is a way of testing whether they're still lovable and wanted. And if you reply, it quickly eases that discomfort without them having to actually process it, which means they disappear and return to suppressing those dangerous emotions again. Now, this is where most people make a critical mistake. They see these signs and they think, finally they're coming back. So they open up too fast. They respond with enthusiasm. They make themselves available immediately. And what happens? The avoidant pulls back again. Because remember, closeness still feels dangerous to them. This is an internal battle between wanting to feel close to someone and feeling that it's dangerous when it happens. So here's what you need to do in stage 3. Stay in no contact. If you feel you absolutely must acknowledge their message, then keep your responses brief and warm, not cold, but not excited either. To make that easier, I've put together the Breakup Response Pack. You can get that from the link below. Now, it's critical to keep prioritizing your own life and healing at this stage. Notice the pattern. They reach out more when you pull back, and most importantly, use this time to really evaluate if this is the relationship you want. Do not mistake increased contact as a sign that they're ready to commit. Do not rush back into deep emotional conversations. Do not make yourself completely available when they reach out. And do not abandon your own healing process just because they're showing interest again. Now, as we move forward, I want you to keep this in mind. Many avoidants realized that what they had was harder to replace than what they told themselves. But don't mistake them reaching out for commitment. Because what comes next is the real test, when they move from distraction and numbing to actually feeling the weight of what they lost. Stage 4 is the crash. Most avoidants don't hit it until 6 months or more have passed. But when and if they do, it's the moment of truth. Reality finally catches up with them, and it hits hard. After all the waiting, all of the obsessing, and all of the attempts to reconnect, they finally seem regretful. Now, this stage usually happens when one of two things occur. One, they realize you've genuinely moved on, you're dating someone new, or you've simply stopped responding to them. Or two, their life hits a rough patch. Maybe work stress, maybe the rebound relationship implodes, and dealing with the extra stress while trying to suppress their emotions becomes too much for their mind. So something has to give. And for many avoidants, this is when the emotions they've been avoiding for months start breaking through. And this is when you see the real breakdown of their defenses. They start reaching out, talking to you, bringing up old memories, asking you to meet up. And then, out of nowhere, you hear the words you've been waiting for. I miss you. I regret what I did. I've been thinking about us a lot. I never stopped caring about you. I made a mistake. But here's what I need you to understand. Even when they crash, even when they finally admit that they have regrets, that doesn't automatically mean they're ready for a healthy relationship. Because awareness is just the first step. Real change takes time and effort. Now, you've seen the timeline, you understand the stages. Now, what I most want you to take with you from this is that some avoidants do the work and come back as better partners. They learn to communicate, they learn to sit with discomfort, they learn that being with someone can feel safe, and those relationships can actually become much stronger and much more loving than before. But others never do the work. They might feel regret, they might miss you, they may even feel love now in their own way. But love without emotional safety, communication, or consistency is not the foundation for a healthy relationship. So use this timeline as a map, not a guarantee. Watch their behavior, not their words. Trust your instincts, honor your worth, and remember that the right person won't need to lose you to realize your value. They'll know it from the start and hold on to you accordingly. Now, if this helped you see the timeline clearly, then the next step is to watch this, the 3 stages of an avoidant coming back and what makes them stay. And if this video helped you in any way, tell me in the comments and let me know what other topics you'd like me to cover.